Hello, everyone. If you are studying IGCSE Computer Science 0478 Paper 1, this video series will help you revise each topic more easily. We'll go through chapters 1 to 6, practice questions like those from the past papers. This will help you understand the types of questions you will see in the exam and how to answer them. These videos are designed to support your learning, build your confidence, and help you to get best grades you can. So let's get started and make your revision count. In this session, we'll be reviewing past paper questions on key topics such as automated systems, components of an automated system in context, robotics, artificial intelligence, and expert system. So let's get started. Topic 37, automated systems. Question 564, state what is meant by an automated system. It's a system that operates without human intervention. Question 565, gave 5 benefits of using automated system: increase accuracy, reduce labor cost, increase productivity, improve safety, consistent output. Question 566, an automated stock control system is used in a warehouse. Give 5 drawbacks of using an automated system. Cost of hardware may be high, need to train staff, system may break down, possible job losses, susceptible to hacking. Components of an automated system. Question 568. An automated system controls the temperature in a greenhouse. State 3 components other than sensors that are typically part of an automated system. Number 1, actuator. Number 2, sensor. Number 3, microprocessor. Number 4, analog to digital converter or ADC. Question 569. An automated system uses components for input, processing, and output. State which components is used for input, processing, and output. Input from sensors, processing using microprocessor, output using actuator. Question 570. State the name of a component of an automated system that is used to perform an action or provide feedback. Actuator. Question 571. A robotic arm in a factory needs to precisely move components from one location to another. State the purpose of an actuator in this robotic arm. The purpose of an actuator is to produce physical movement or action in a system, often in response to a signal from a controller like microprocessor. Question 572. The data from a sensor must be converted from analog to digital to be processed by a computer. State what is meant by analog data. Analog data is continuous data. Analog data has an infinite number of values. Question 573. The data from a sensor must be converted from analog to digital to be processed by a computer. State what is meant by digital data. Digital data is discrete data. Digital data is represented using binary digits. Question 574. A supermarket uses a self-checkout system controlled by a microprocessor. This system scans items and processes payments. Describe the purpose of the microprocessor in this self-checkout system. A microprocessor acts as a CPU of the computer, control the operation of the self-checkout system, process data and instructions, perform calculations and logical comparisons, fetch, decode, and execute instructions, and manage the flow of the data within the system. Question 575. A small business owner uses a computer system to manage inventory, process sales, and track customers' data. Describe the purpose of the microprocessor within the computer system. The microprocessor controls the operation of the computer. The microprocessor fetches instructions. The microprocessor decodes instructions. The microprocessor executes instructions. The microprocessor performs arithmetic and logical operations. Question 576. Sensors can be used in an automated system. Give 2 benefits of using sensors in this type of system. Sensors can work 24/7. Sensor can work in dangerous environments. Sensors are more accurate than humans. Sensors respond more quickly than humans. Sensors do not need to be paid. Sensors do not need to take breaks. Sensors provide consistent results. Sensors can be connected to a computer. Sensors can be used to monitor remote locations. Sensors can detect changes that humans cannot. Question 577. Sensors can be used in an automated system. Gave 2 drawbacks of using sensors in this type of system. Sensor may be unreliable. Sensor may give incorrect reading. Sensor may be affected by environmental conditions. Sensors need maintenance. Sensors need replacement. Sensors are prone to failure. System failure if sensor fails. Sensors are extensive. Need to interpret sensors data. Need specialists to interpret sensor data. Question 578. The table contains different types of sensor and use for each. Complete the table by giving a suitable use for each type of sensor. Acoustic sensor measures the level of sound in an environment. Temperature sensor measures the object or substance temperature via direct contact or environmental capture. Humidity sensor measures the level of moisture in the immediate atmosphere. Infrared sensor measures infrared radiation emitted by objects and people. Magnetic field sensor measures the presence of an object's magnetic field. Pressure sensor measures the force of pressure applied to a sensor or device by a solid, liquid, or gas. Proximity sensor measures object proximity to a sensor by emitting and analyzing a return electromagnetic radiation or field for changes. Moisture sensor measures water content in a substance such as soil. Level sensor measures whether a substance such as liquid is at certain level or amount. Light sensor measures the ambient and direct light, example laser beam, in an environment. pH sensor measures the pH level of a substance. Automated system in context. Question 581. The robot plants seed and stops when it reaches a fence. It then turns and continues planting seeds. The robot uses sensors and microprocessor to know when it reaches a fence. Explain how the robot uses sensors and microprocessor to know it has reached a fence. So here is a template answer you can use for any question about automated systems and robots. You just need to change three things in the answer. Number one, the sensor name. Number two, the condition it monitors. And number three, the action it performs. A type of sensor is used to monitor specific condition. So here you need to give the name of sensor and what condition it needs to monitor. The sensor captures the data and sends it to ADC, analog to digital converter. The ADC converts the analog data to digital and transmits it to the microprocessor. The microprocessor compares the converted data to the stored values to determine if the condition is within the acceptable range. If the data is within range, no action is taken. If the data is outside the acceptable range, the microprocessor sends a signal to the actuator to perform a specific action. This entire process continues to repeat until the system is stopped or turned off. Question 582. A greenhouse uses an automated system to maintain optimal growing condition. Describe how this automated system operates using sensors and microprocessor. A type of sensor is used to monitor specific condition. The sensor captures data and sends it to an ADC, analog to digital converter. The ADC converts the analog data to digital and transmits it to the microprocessor. The microprocessor compares the converted data to stored values to determine if condition is within the acceptable range. If data is within range, no action is taken. If the data is outside the acceptable range, microprocessor sends a signal to the actuator to perform a specific action. This entire process continues to repeat until the system is stopped or turned off. Question 583. The robot plants seed and stops when it reaches a fence. It then turns and continues planting seed. The robot uses sensors and a microprocessor to know when it reaches a fence. Explain how the robot uses sensors and microprocessor to know it has reached a fence. A proximity sensor is used to continuously send captured data to the microprocessor. The microprocessor compares the data to a stored value. If the value is within the range, the robot continues planting. If the value is outside the range, a signal is sent by microprocessor using an actuator to turn or stop the robot. This process repeats until the robot is turned off. Topic 38. Robotics. Question 585. Define the term robot. A robot is a device that can be programmed to carry out a series of actions automatically. It often uses sensors to detect its surrounding and can make decisions based on input data. Question 586. A farmer uses an automated robot to plant seeds in the field. State what is meant by the robot being automated in this context. The robot can perform actions without human intervention. Question 587. A company uses robots in its factory to manufacture large pieces of furniture. One characteristic of a robot is that it is programmable. State two other characteristics of a robot. Number one, it has a mechanical structure. Number two, it has electrical components. Number three, it is programmable. And number four, it can move. Question 588. Identify the device used to move robot arms in factory. So that is actuator. Question 589. Outline the role of actuators in operation of the agriculture robot. Actuators convert control signal into physical movement used to move robot arms, wheels, or spray mechanism. Advantages and disadvantages of robot. Question 591. A company uses robots in its factory to manufacture large pieces of furniture. Give two advantages to company employees of using robots to manufacture large pieces of furniture. Employees are not exposed to dangerous tasks. Employees can be trained to perform more skilled jobs. Reduction in repetitive tasks for employees. Fewer injuries to employees. Question 592. State two advantages of using robots in agriculture. Can work continuously without rest. Improve efficiency and consistency of tasks. Reduce human exposure to harmful chemicals, and reduce labor cost in the long term. Question 593. Explain three advantages of using a robot in a manufacturing factory. Increases productivity due to 24/7 operation, improves consistency and quality of work, reduces long-term labor costs, minimizes human error, can work in dangerous conditions safely. Question 594. A company uses robots in its factory to manufacture large pieces of furniture. Give one disadvantage to the company's owner of using robot to manufacture large pieces of furniture. High initial cost, maintenance costs, need skilled engineers or technicians. Robots can only do what they are programmed to do. Unemployment of humans. Question 595. A large agriculture company is considering using automated robot to plant seeds on a vast field. Give two advantages and two disadvantages of using these robots compared to traditional manual planting. Advantages: work faster and more accurately, increase productivity and efficiency, will not get bored of performing a repetitive task, can work in a more dangerous environment, save time on tedious work, improve product quality and consistency. Disadvantages: setup cost may be high, maintenance cost may be high, may need training in how to use it, can malfunction and may cause damage, cannot handle unexpected situations, may take away jobs from humans. Topic 39. Artificial intelligence. Question 597. The robot needs to find its way through different puzzles. Each puzzle has a series of paths that the robot needs to follow to find its way to the end of the puzzle. The puzzle contains dead ends and obstacles, so the robot needs to decide which way to go. The robot's program will use artificial intelligence or AI. Describe the characteristic of AI. AI can learn from experience. AI can solve problems. AI can make decisions. AI can understand natural language. AI can perceive its environment. AI can simulate human intelligence. Question 598. A search engine uses AI to identify the most relevant web pages for the user. One characteristic of AI is the ability to learn. Identify three other characteristics of AI. Number one, problem solving. Number two, decision making. Number three, pattern recognition. Question 599. The search engine uses machine learning. Explain how machine learning is used by the search engine. Machine learning algorithm analyze user interaction data such as clicks and time spent on pages to improve the relevance and ranking of such results. Machine learning models are trained to identify and filter out low quality content or spam websites from the search result. Machine learning is used to understand the meaning and intent behind the user queries and suggest predicted searches or corrections. Question 600. A garage uses an expert system to help diagnose any problem with cars that needs repair. The expert system is an example of AI. Describe what is meant by AI. AI is the simulation of human intelligence processed by a machine. It involves computer systems performing tasks that typically requires human intelligence, such as learning, problem solving, and decision making. Question 601. The robot is adapted to have machine learning capabilities. Explain how this will improve the robot. The robot can learn from data or experience. The robot can adapt to its behavior to new situations. The robot can improve its performance over time. The robot can identify patterns to make decisions. Question 602. A farmer uses a robot to monitor crop health in a large field. The robot is adapted to have machine learning capabilities. Explain how this will improve the robot's ability to monitor crop health. The robot can now adapt itself by changing its own rules, data, and processes. The robot will become more efficient as it has a greater knowledge of its environment. It can remember where a fence is. It can remember the route it needs to take. It can remember where any obstacles are to avoid. And it can remember where to start and stop sowing seeds. Expert system. Question 604. Write down the components within the expert system that matches the definition given. Number one, the components contain a database of facts. So that is called knowledge base. Question 605. Write down the component within the expert system that matches the definition given. This component carries out the reasoning of expert system. So that is inference engine. Question 606. Write down the component within the expert system that matches the definition given. This component allows the person to interact with the system. So that is user interface. Question 607. Identify two applications that use expert system: medical diagnosis, mineral prospecting, chess playing, credit scoring. Question 608. Identify three components found in an expert system. Number one, user interface. Number two, inference engine. Number three, knowledge base. And number four, rule base. Question 609. A person contacts an online medical website that uses an expert system to allow users to self-diagnose illnesses. Describe how an expert system is used to diagnose an illness. An interactive interface appears, asking the user questions about their illness using yes/no answers. The inference engine processes the user's answer and searches for relevant information. The inference engine searches the knowledge base, which contains medical facts and data about illnesses. The rule base is used by inference engine to apply logical reasoning, if-then rules to determine possible diagnosis. Probabilities and possible diagnosis or treatments are displayed, along with explanation of how system reached its conclusion. Question 610. The expert system is an example of AI. Describe what is meant by AI. The simulation of intelligent behaviors by computers, involving the ability to reason, learn, and use a collection of data with rules to perform tasks.